I'm Matt Hayes. I haven't got much in common with Babs Kijewski really. She's German and I'm English. She's a girl, I'm a boy. She's quite young and I'm, I suppose, a bit oldish. But we both share a passion for fishing. And that's why we've decided to go on the ultimate fishing road trip together to Ontario. Well, now we're ready for the next leg of our fantastic Ontario adventure. We've arrived in the town of White River, which is a small town with a population of about 1,000, but that's way too many people for us. We're going to a remote outpost in a place called Esnagi Lake, which is absolutely huge. It's 27 miles long. It's got all sorts of fish in it. It's got pike, it's got walleye, it's got brook trout.
And perch.
And perch as well. Everything you could possibly want. The only snag is, there's actually only 2 ways into it, and one of them is by rail, and the trains aren't running today, and the other way is by car. No, actually it's not, it's by float plane. Bad luck, Babs. Hello there. Well, it's a bit of a tricky one here because I really enjoy float planes. I love the view and the whole sensation, and these old float planes have got so much character, but that's not much comfort to poor old Babs because she's really, really nervous of flying, and the pilots warned us it could be a slightly bumpy flight, so we'll be all right though. Okay, just breathe, 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 Barbara, breathe. Don't forget to breathe. You'll be all right.
The fish is waiting for me.
Just think about all the pike and the walleye and the perch and the brook trout all waiting for you at the other end.
Maybe
And you're going over them in your boat and your sonar's going beep 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 because there's loads of fish underneath, and you're casting your lure down and down and down goes your lure, and it's right in the face of a huge pike and it goes boom like that. How about that? That's great, isn't it? You know, these planes have been flying for over half a century and they haven't crashed yet, so I think they're pretty reliable.
Did you saw all the lakes and the waters and the thousands of millions of trees?
So many lakes, all different shapes, and creeks and streams and small lakes and big lakes. It is just a jigsaw puzzle of land and lakes.
Yeah, and while we're landing, eagles flew with us.
Wow, I didn't see that. No, I was looking the wrong way, obviously. That's great.
Great.
Yeah, anyway, put that all out of your mind now, because all you've got to think about is fishing. There
Right.
you go. Ah, the wilderness, look at that. Ooh. You know the footballers, they kiss the ground. Anyway, we're here, you can forget about it all. All you've got to worry about now is pike, walleye, etc.
Now
etc.
start fishing!
Exactly,
Yay.
so you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We all have our crosses to bear, and you're mine.
Okay guys, these are some main key spots that we're gonna hit. We're mainly targeting some underwater shoals, and they're pretty much on the top of them because the water's pretty murky, the weeds are starting to die, and we're gonna be hitting some massive shells.
So basically, when you say shoals, John, you're talking about underwater islands or humps, plateaus, whatever you want to call them, but it's subsurface structure.
Yes, exactly. It's mainly just underwater islands, and they're pretty much sitting on the top of it because the water's so murky that their eyes aren't too pressured into them to make them go deep. So they just stay up top, and they're feeding on the minnows.
So where will we find these underwater plateaus and islands?
Well, there's a couple all the way up here. There actually is a few of them throughout the lake, but the ones up north have been a little bit better. And there's one up here, and then it actually has a bunch of big drop-offs on each side. And it goes about 36 feet on each side, which is a good escape route for the fish to go when it gets really hot in the afternoons. And but the mornings, they really like to feed on the top. And there's one up here, and then there's one not too far south from it. And they're really big, they're really, really big.
That's great.
And where you caught your big walleye?
My big walleye was caught just up the lake a little bit, just off of a big sand bank. It's all sand bottom, and it was about 20 feet of water. Yeah, it was a big walleye. It was about 32 inches long and 14 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
That's a big fish.
All right.
Well, we appreciate you helping us. We've got
Yeah.
to try and find the fish, but this is a real good head start, I think.
Absolute.
I think
Thank
so. Thank
you.
you. It's been fun so far.
Great. A beautiful morning, a little bit spooky.
Beautiful. Well, here we are. It seems like we've been going for absolutely ages, but this is where John, the guide, recommends, and we've been motoring for about 40 minutes in all this mist and fog, and it seems like another world. In fact, we've been going so long, I'm not so sure we're not back on the Nipigon River, but we certainly have boldly gone where no man or German lady has gone before. Esnagi Lake's actually a very interesting place. Prior to the 1950s, this was a huge river system, a complex network of free-flowing rivers, and then in the late 50s they actually dammed it and created this enormous lake which has still got current. It's got an average depth of about 30 feet and depths down to 100 feet, and in fact the lake itself is 27 miles long, so it's a pretty mind-blowing piece of water, and it's a huge labyrinth and complex of bays and islands and channels. So navigating your way around here really does take some doing. It's a huge expanse of water to catch fish in, and that's why you need some inside info, and I'm pretty glad that we spoke to our guide before we came out. Now at the moment Babs and I are just prospecting for the fish, and she made a good point earlier on that the great thing about this vertical jig fishing style is that you're actually keeping your lure down in the hunting zone all the time instead of having to cast around and wait for it to drop to the bottom. So it's certainly got that going for it. But of course it is a vast area of water and it's not easy to find fish here.
Now I will do really German things. Look, Matt. Here's my towel.
This on your chair.
My chair. Do you see that? My chair.
Oh, there's a fish.
Oh, fish on.
Oh, I think it's a monster. Oh, this could be the champion's one. Oh, it's a pike. Oh, and he's jumped off.
Oh, got one. Oh, I got one.
Well done, Babs.
Yay! It's a massive, huge fish.
Ah,
Oh,
I
look
can tell
at that.
by the bend in your... Oh, another monster.
A monster fish.
Wow.
Look.
You've made me jealous.
With a monster?
Yes.
Look at that. Really monster.
Well, but it's a walleye.
It is a walleye. And you see, the walleye looks a little bit different than on the lake of the woods and the other lake.
You're absolutely right. Babs, do you ever fish with two? Because you're very competitive, so like up, you know, like this, kind of. You could do that, couldn't you?
I wish
that,
I can fish with my legs, so I can fish four rods. You make the Zona dance to pray for the Zona. Zona, Zona, show me where the fish is.
And the Zonar never lies, does it? Oh, there's a fish. Not a very big one. Oh, look at this.
Oh, no.
It's a very, very small walleye. Look at that. This fish is very similar to our zander back at home. For a start off, you can see that it's got the double dorsal fin. You've got the spiny dorsal here that's almost perch-like, and then the softer one at the back. And that tells me that this fish is basically a zander, even though it's called walleye here. Or maybe our zander's a walleye, doesn't matter. If you look at the coloration of this fish, it's very interesting. It's much more somber than the fish that we caught in Esnagi Lake or on Lake of the Woods, which were dark with very pronounced spots. This fish is more kind of olives and browns with silvery pearlescent sides. And that is really a typical feature of a fish that you find in more chocolate coloured water. The fish basically blend in with their surroundings and adopt the coloration of the water so that as predators they can ambush their prey fish species. And I find this fascinating because looking at this fish here, I'm almost looking at one of our zander. I don't think it's a monster, but it's a bit bigger than the last. Oh, well, not really. Not really. Bigger. It's a little baby one. But this is a nice method to fish. It's very sensitive, very accurate, and it appeals to Barbara's sense of precision and technical prowess. And she loves it because you've got to do everything correctly and very precisely. Okay, little walleye. Oh, look at that. I don't think it's a huge one, but it's... Ooh, babe. The jig of champions must not be relinquished lightly, Miss Babs. This is a proper walleye. It's a nice one.
Yeah, it is.
Yay! Okay, Babs, bring it in. Oh, the jig's fallen out in the net.
Okay.
That was lucky, wasn't it?
This is a champion jig. I want it back.
You're not having it. Give it to me.
Give me.
It's the jig of champions, not champions.
Oh, that's a lovely fish.
Now this is, yeah, I think this is a much better example of a walleye, isn't it? I mean,
Golden
you know,
points.
Beautiful gold. Well, just like the zander, the walleye's got this distinctive double dorsal fin. The spiny, pointy dorsal at the front and then the softer, almost grayling-like dorsal at the back. The colour's beautiful in this one. It's got really nice bright gold and yellow spots, and some really interesting marks around the face. But look at these.
Look at the teeth.
These are proper fangs in here, and that shows you that this is a very efficient
You want to bite me?
predatory fish. Proper fangs inside there, and they're really sharp, let me tell you. So that's a proper walleye, and a very nice way to catch it. Very precise, very enjoyable, and I'm pleased with that. Well, things have got a little bit desperate and competitive in the boat. I was doing so well because I had a gold jig head and Babs didn't have one, and now she's found one, so that's all right. But what she didn't know early on was that I'd actually got my plastic bait, my little rubber minnow, had got a kink in its tail. But then she spotted it, and now she's even copied the kink. And to make things even worse, I've just had a big pike, ran in, took my jig away, just bit through the line, ran off with it, and now I'm out of the game. And Miss Babs is on the hot. She's pimped out a lure, she's got a gold jig head, there's not another one in the boat. It's game over for me.
Wanna have a look at my only one golden head jig? Here we are. I pimped my lure here with a cut inside. I have more play in my tail. And look at this gold. It's glimmering in the light. Woohoo! So I fish now a pink lure.
You got the pink one on?
Yeah. Ah, yeah, got one.
Well done, Babs.
Oh, this. Oh, great! And
Is it a
Matt,
good one?
it is.
It's not bad, or it could be a pike.
No, it is a pike.
It's a pike, I
no,
think.
No, it's. Do you see that?
Yes, it's a pike. Oh.
Whoop, fella!
Oh, oh, oh.
Jump in the net now!
Yeah.
Great!
There you are, Babs. Nice. Nice little pike.
Yeah. Oh, this is a lovely pike. Do you see the points on the side? Look, the fins. The fins have. Look.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Like a tiger.
Like a tiger. This is a tiger pike.
Well, so far, I think for our first session, we've done pretty well, really. We're really trying to find the areas of structure where you get these underwater humps and mounds, and that seems to be where the walleye are hanging out. We've had some good adventures, caught a few walleye, including that really nice one I had earlier on. I've had an encounter with a big pike which took my jig, a couple of other bangs, and then Babs has just caught, you know, a small pike, but really nice, deep, very nicely conditioned pike. So I'm pretty pleased with the way things are going. We'll head in soon for a bit of a break, and then maybe back out here again this evening for a little bit more action.
We're just cooking shore lunch here up on shore by Lodge 88. This is all the fish that we caught today, so we're gonna enjoy it pretty soon, and getting up there.
Well, this morning the conditions were perfect for fishing for walleye. It was really foggy and all that grey cloud, just the sort of low light conditions that make the fish bite. But then the sun got really high in the sky, so it was time to come in, take a break, enjoy the hospitality of the lodge. And now, as you can see, we're coming into evening. The sun's low in the sky and it's absolutely perfect to go out and see if we can nail another nice walleye.
Oh yeah.
Nice one, Mrs. Goldjig.
Fish on. Oh, it's a pike.
It's a pike.
Ooh, it's a crazy pike. Come in my net.
Lovely.
Great. It's not the walleye, but
Pike is pike.
pike is pike. Mike the pike. Oh, wait. Mr. Crazy Pike. Wait. All right. It's a lovely pike. Here in this lake are thousands of pike. Perfect spot for sports fishermen and women.
Well, in this box there's all manner of goodies. Different size soft plastic baits, some with tails like paddles, others with split tails. And somewhere in this box lies the key to catching a big walleye. And I'm going to go for this lad here. Think lucky and you'll be lucky, Babs.
So when the sun is down, it's getting dark really quick and really dark. And then it's very difficult to find the way back.
Don't you worry, Miss Babs. I've laid a trail of breadcrumbs. And as long as the ducks haven't eaten them, we'll be fine.
All right. We have done really well. We caught a lot of fish. We are really happy.
Yes, but I've got an idea that could make tomorrow very, very interesting. A little surprise for you, Barbara.
One surprise?
Mm.
Oh, I hate surprise. Give me a tip.
No, it wouldn't be a surprise if I told you.
Please give me a tip.
All right, you know all those lures that you've been looking at today and you've found out the ones that work? Well, forget about them.
Really?
Yeah, because you're not going to use them tomorrow.
That's a bad tip. I can't work with that. All right. Shall we go home?
Yep,
All
let's
right.
go home.
Great.
Well, a good day.
Oh yeah, it
Really
was.
enjoyed it. And a beautiful end. Not so many fish this evening, but, well, tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
Well, the railways have played a hugely significant role in Canadian history. The railway got here in the 1880s. Just imagine trying to build a line in those days across all of this wilderness. But they did manage it, and amazingly enough, the railway actually resulted in the development of White City from settlement to town. And as far as this place is concerned, it too owes its prosperity to the railway itself, because Lodge 88 is located on Marker 88 on the old railway line, which, as you can see, is still very much running today. Now, there are two ways to get to fish Esnagi Lake. One of them is to come in by float plane, as we did, but the other way is to do it the old-fashioned way, on the railway, the Canadian Pacific. And I think there's something rather lovely about that. So this is the big surprise. You know, in the old days, when the First Nation native people were fishing, they couldn't just pop down to the shop and buy the latest baits and lures, you know. They had to make things for themselves. Now, whereas this isn't strictly quite that, I think it's in the spirit of it. So the idea is here that Barbara and I are going to make some baits or lures that we've got to then take out onto the lake and fish for pike and walleye with. So here we are. I'm going to tie some flies. Babs is going to make some kind of subaquatic rat kind of thing. Don't know what it is, but it looks like it might work. And then we're going to go out fishing with them. So how good is that? Righto then, Babs. Let's do it.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'll show you mine if you'll show me yours. Okay, this is my second effort. I'm going in reverse order now. It's made out of chinchilla strip and some rabbit strip at the front, and it's got a really wiggly tail, which I think should appeal to the walleyes and the pike. I've put a little guard in there to stop the tail wrapping around the hook, and all that fur will puff out when I fish it on the fly rod in the water. It's got a downside. Rabbit strip soaks up loads of water, so it puffs out nicely in the water, but it's going to be really heavy to cast. So that's my first effort.
All right, looks good.
Thank you. This is my second one. Again, I've got a few worries about. It's very heavy to cast on a fly rod. This fly fishing for pike is difficult anyway, but I love this fly, but I'm not sure about how much I'll be able to cast it. It's kind of a fly meets a wiggly worm, so I've got that nice little wiggly tail to draw them in, which is articulated. It's on a second hook that swings at the back, so there'll be loads of movement in this fly, loads of movement from the marabou here. Downside, not very resilient to the pike's teeth. However, I've only got to catch one fish on it, so that's probably okay. And then I've added in some bucktail and a little bit of hackle here, just to create that kind of perchy, yellow perchy looking kind of thing. So there it is. It's a fly meets a wiggly worm.
I'm very interesting if you catch any fish with it.
Yeah, fire tiger. See? That's what it's called, the colour, fire
Great.
tiger.
Okay, I show you my list.
Okay.
First, you're laughing all the time about my mouse, but I show the mouse, the woman in the kitchen, and she was screaming very loud because she's thinking it's a real mouse. I will try to catch a pike with it. I throw it out. I think it will run nearly a little bit under the surface, maybe on the surface. Have a look.
I think that looks like, for me, that's like a mutant toilet brush.
Okay.
But I think it will work.
It will work, and I will definitely catch a fish with that, only to see you smiling.
Okay.
I will catch the biggest one.
I
this
can't
is
wait.
my plan. No. And then I build
A bucktail jig.
a jig. It's with a little bit heavy on. And you remember the golden color on so good the last day.
Yeah.
And I put little bit goldens inside, and hopefully I catch a walleye with that.
You see, you've got weight there because this is a weighted jig head.
Yeah.
But for you, that's good. to me, that's the enemy. With a fly rod,
Yeah, it's not
the heavier
possible.
it is, the harder it is to
Yeah.
cast. But for you, that weight there is
I will,
great.
Yeah, I will throw out with my spinning lures and drop on the ground a little bit. Yeah.
Cool.
The walleye will love that lure.
Yeah, I think they will. That's a winner. For me,
Maybe.
that's a winner.
All right. So
Okay, well, I think it's going to be tough on the old fly rod, but especially with the weight of these flies,
Yeah.
but I'm prepared to give it a go.
all right. All right.
And I look forward to seeing the mutant toilet brush at work. Babs's bionic toilet brush.
Upsala. So now I test my lures.
Don't feel too sorry for Babs. She might not have fly tying skills, but let me tell you, the stuff that she's created because she uses spinning rods will be much, much easier to cast. My problem is the flies look amazing, but you need very advanced fly casting skills just to be able to get them in the water. So in some respects, I've made this so much harder for myself. Shot myself in the foot a bit.
That's funny.
So we're both going to fish at the same time, and John is guiding Babs, so that's a good advantage. He's one of the experts down here, and we're going to fish similar areas.
Matt, you called it toilet? What?
Toilet brush, yeah.
No, I have another name.
Oh,
This name of the lure is Little Matt.
Little Matt.
Yeah, it's Little Matt, not. All right. Make a little bit wet, so maybe I can cast longer distance. All right.
Well, it's not the easiest thing in the world to cast, but I'm getting it out there and certainly casting it far enough to hook a pike or a walleye. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, really. I think with the fly, you're often best to cover and structure that you can cast to. And I've started off with a floating fly line, which probably won't get as deep as Babs is going to get with her creation. But, you know, I've only got to catch one fish on it to declare it a success. So it's not that bad.
Got one. No, I got one.
No, she's got one. Look at that. And it didn't take long.
Look at that, my mouse work. It's only the third cast. Oh, and I got a pike. Look at that, Matt. I can't believe. No, I believe it. Right. Oh, great. Look at. Oh, wait. Here we go. My mouse worked really good.
Great result, Babs. I told you it would work.
What do you say now, Matt?
I say it looks worse than ever,
But it's worked.
but it works.
It was only the third cast. It's sinking slowly down and catch pike.
Great result. Well done.
Thank you. I'll even back.
I told you it would be fun.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Well, Babs is over the moon at having caught a fish on that lure, and I knew she would be. She really loves the technical approach to fishing, and that's great, but sometimes fishing is all about having some fun with it, and that was the whole idea of getting her to make those lures. And now she's discovered that actually sometimes even small fish can give you a really big thrill. Great for her. I might change to my... Oh, there's a fish. Yeah.
You got
it.
one?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yippee!
Woohoo! I'm in on the Mutant Ninja Turtle, a hybrid fire tiger, green wiggly worm and feather combination.
Great.
There he is. Well, I'm not quite as ecstatic as Babs because I think it would be unseemly for me to be that way, but I'm pretty pleased with myself. It's only a small pike, but we've proved once again that these things can work. And there he is, a pike on the Ninja Turtle. How about that? Back you go, lad. Yeah, that's a better fish.
Great. Yeah, man.
Oh, that was a really good surface attack. And it's taken the Lodge 88. Slightly bigger fish than the last one, that's for sure. Got to get the line on the reel. Come on, come on, come on. Not sure whether it's a walleye or a pike, but it's got to be a pike with this amount of strength. Well, this is hooked on the second of my 2 flies, and it's a nice hefty pike. That one's nailed the Lodge 88. Up until now we've caught quite small pike, but this one's a nice one. It's not finished yet, I'll tell you. Well, it really hammered the fly. It just took it in a boil of angry water, as if someone had turned on about 10 washing machines underneath the surface. Look at that, the fly's right down its throat. Now it's just dislodged it slightly, but that's a lovely pike. Proper old croc. Okay. Now I've got to get the leader. See if I can chin this fish out. There he is. Yes, that's a nice pike. Nice, thick set, solid pike. Beautiful. Very nice fish. Beautifully marked. Really solid fish. Probably weighs about 10, 11 pounds, that pike. Maybe 12. It's quite short, but it's really fat and very wide across the back. Well, there's the fly called Lodge 88, right in the scissors, the best place to hook a pike. And he wasn't coming off, that's for sure, but the hook's out now. And there it is. Let's put it back. Well, that second fish took the second of the flies that I tied, the Lodge 88, so I've now caught on both patterns, and that was a really nice, epic battle, a wonderful take, a really good strong scrap on this 9-weight rod, and I'm really pleased about that. Now I can relax a bit, but I think there's more to come, more fish to be caught.
I got one, yay! I got one! On cute Susan, please land first. Oh! Yeah,
well done, Babs.
It's a walleye!
Great work.
Oh, look at that. I caught on cute Susan a walleye. It's not the biggest one, but it is a walleye. I feel very good now. This is my second self-made lure, and yeah, I'm happy, really.
Well, what an amazing morning it's been. It's my last morning here at Lodge 88. Babs is back at the lodge getting some rest before we go on to the next leg. But I'm so glad that I came out today. The light show this morning was truly spectacular. When I arrived at the boat dock, everything was shrouded in mist. And as we've travelled down the lake, the mist's been burnt off by the sun. It sent literally shards of light, scattering the mist and lighting up the landscape. And you know, I had a good day yesterday. I caught a couple of nice fish on my newly created flies, and I think there's more to come before I have to move on to Sault Ste. Marie. And that's an interesting place in its own right. There's going to be some great fishing there, a lot of it from the shore. So both Babs and I are really looking forward to that. But for now, one last cast. I've just seen a big fish hit the surface out there, and I'm curious to know if it will take the fly. It could have been a big pike. It was obviously attacking something, probably a small bait fish which it was chasing, and as it chased it up to the surface, the fish tried to escape and the pike made a grab for it. It was definitely something substantial. I knew I'd get a bite there. I was getting really close to the bottom with this sinking line, and I've still got the Lodge 88 fly on. Seems to be the one that they like. This is a great way to catch pike. You really get all the fun of the fight, and you see the pike for what it is, a wonderful sport fish. Look at that. Ooh, he really wanted that fly. Look, he swallowed it. Beautiful. And there's the fly. Just nestling in. Look at those teeth. The interesting thing with pike is these are the teeth that do the damage on the front edge. But back in here you've got these lines of backward facing teeth. Small, almost Velcro like. And once a fish goes in there, it's very difficult for it to get out because they grip it. It's really, really rough, and it holds on to the prey. It's the perfect predator. It's a really seamless day. The sun's up now, it's really warm, and there's not a ripple on the lake really. And it's amazing, you know, sitting here looking at this incredible landscape. The thing that strikes me the most is that there are no unnatural noises at all. And in the UK, we've got noise pollution at an incredible level. And to come here and experience this is pretty special.
Thank you, Dr. Bob, for the safe flying. I feel very good. I enjoy this fly very much. Thank you.
It's a perfect day, eh?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
It was great to discover the wilderness again at Esnagi Lake. The plane ride in the strong wind and turbulence was very frightening. But once we're on land, all my fears disappeared. The lodge was like home, and the lake full of hungry predatory fish. This gave me the chance to try and make a fish lure for the first time in my life. Matt is an expert at making flies and lures, so I had everything to prove. There were lots of jokes about my designs, but they soon stopped when little Matt caught a pike on my third cast. Little Matt is now retired and will hang on my wall forever.